which you should be good.
I can't believe you sang that right before we started recording.
It was great timing or horrible timing.
I don't sing that song. My warm up is, what is it? The lips, the teeth, the tip of the tongue. The lips, the teeth, the tip of the tongue.
The lips, the teeth. I see. I can't do that. Yeah, no.
The lips, the teeth, the tip of the tongue.
I'm not surprised. I can't.
Come on now.
The lips, the teeth, the tip of the tongue.
There you go. A little enunciation practice.
How
lips,
now,
the teeth,
brown
the tip of the
cow?
Hey, everybody knows I have a lot of trouble enunciating my words. So I'm not surprised. Our listeners I'm not surprised if like our listeners are always like, what the fuck did Mo just say? Like, what were those words that came out of his mouth? Because sometimes when I listen back to our episodes and I try to like, take notes or to edit, I'm like, whoa, what were those words that I just said? And it was me. I said them. I can't. So I won't be surprised if people are just like, yeah, Mo's just talking again. Just wait till the next person so I can understand what's going on.
Sorry, I'm looking at you. Can you double check which mic you're using?
Me?
Yeah, on the
I
Zoom.
can swear to God, I selected microphone, USB, PNP audio device, and then speaker is my AirPods Pro.
Okay, cool. No, just making sure.
Do I sound bad?
I wasn't sure sometimes. No, I just like didn't know if when you approach it, if it changed for me, and I was like, what's going on? It could also just be my earbuds. Who knows?
Let me double check on my computer audio settings, see, make sure everything's good to go.
But yeah, Friday.
Yay.
It is Friday. Here we are, another one. Friday number is 7,368. Fantastic. Someone check my math on that, by the way.
It doesn't.
Sure that's accurate.
It doesn't feel real.
Mm-mm.
Thanks for listening to our podcast, everybody. I hope you tune in next time. It doesn't feel real. You're right. It doesn't.
The Friday's not feeling like a Friday.
The serotonin is just not hitting for me right now.
Marketing major drinking game. Take a sip every time Alex says Friday this podcast. If you rewind it, starting from the beginning, you're already feeling it.
We might do a little Instagram contest. Give us, it's like a how many like gumballs are in the jar type situation. Like take a guess how many Fridays.
I feel like we had this conversation before. This was in the first one. This was in episode 0.
This is the most. This was episode 0 with me saying Jenaya's name properly or not. This was like guess how many times.
Yeah.
There's
and
layers.
I'm pretty
layers.
sure I'm perfect so far. So
that's true.
A little tap on the back there.
You got it out of your system early.
You did.
I've been thinking recently, Mo. I've just been really excited about.
Alex has been thinking.
Yeah, right. Never a good idea. I try to check myself as much as possible. I go, hold on, buddy. You've been thinking. Slow down. I've just been like thinking about the summer, and I'm like, I just really want to fix up my bike. So, and now I associate with fixing up my bike with you. So now I'm like, nice. I don't know. I've just been in this. I've been in this biking mood, but it's literally winter, so I don't really know why I'm in a biking mood.
I feel you. I want to go outside and do something. I'm like, I want to run, but I hate running. But I want to go out for a run. But I hate running, but I want to still. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But a bike ride sounds like a bike ride through like just a nice park in the city with some friends, AirPods in, hair just flowing in the air, whatever we got, just let it flow, and yeah.
That sounds amazing.
I want that.
Yeah. I want that.
I just want to sit on a curb and talk to friends. You know what I mean?
Oh, dude, sitting on a curb.
Oof, different.
For sure. For sure.
Different. Have you guys ever just like literally laid down fully in a parking lot and talked to a friend before? You could say no.
Laid down in a parking lot?
That's dirty.
It was dirty.
I wear a lot of white.
It was on like the sidewalk of a parking lot.
Bring a blanket.
I did that, and it was very nice. It was very nice.
Sound nice. I will say.
It's the little moments.
We are not okay.
No.
We're holding on by a thread right now.
We are not okay. Do you feel like the first few weeks back have been slightly easier or slightly harder than last time around?
I don't know. Like, I just
Last
don't
week
know.
was, and
I
then
can relate.
ugh,
Like, don't ever ask me. Anybody listening, don't ask me like, "Yeah, how are things going? How you?" I don't know. I don't know. Legit don't know. Like, my therapy sessions have been pretty awkward because she's like, "How are things going?" I'm like, I don't know. You tell me. You tell me
chilling.
how are things going?
Yeah. How about you stop asking me questions and start giving me answers around here? All right.
Mood. I'm just like, tell me what to do. And she's like,
just
I
fix my
can't.
problem. Fix it. Fix it. I
They're
hate, I
like,
hate,
that's not what I'm here to do. It's like,
yeah, I hate that shit. Hate therapists are like, I'm just gonna give you the tools so you can fix them. Like, no, 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 no.
No.
Just tell me what to do and fix them. Just make it easy. Life's hard.
I feel that. I feel that. Do you think should we try and squeeze in like a convo, or should we wait till after and do like house related conversations after like the debrief?
That's a good question. We have 3 minutes. So probably I can't squeeze in right now. I'm thinking we can do the debrief. And then maybe we might have to like record the segment 1 in the like the beginning part of it later, because I know you have a hard out at 3:00, right, Janelle?
No, I
You got it.
don't.
that was Wednesday.
That was on Wednesday, yeah. So if
Okay, that
y'all are
change-
free,
That
then-
changes things. I'm down. Yeah, I'm free.
Me
Okay,
too. I'm just
Alex,
here.
you're good. Okay, sweet. So we'll
Yeah.
just record it afterwards.
Cool.
Also,
Whoever's editing cuts
Janaya-
part out. They can't know how we do things.
Janaya, your name still says
I know.
Courtney.
I know.
You're gonna keep it there.
Well, I don't know how to change it.
Just
'Cause
click
I
the
feel
three
like-
dots. Click the 3 dots. You could change it. If you change it now, it'll be temporary, and when she signs in next, it'll just go back to Courtney.
Really?
So three dots, rename, and just put like Jenaya.
Oh, that's
Shro.
awesome.
And
That's
you'll be
great
good to go.
news.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
There you go. Good
Hey.
stuff. Yeah.
We should do an ASMR episode or an ASMR bit. I think that would be funny. Or,
Yeah, I'm down.
or would it?
Or maybe a bit would be too long. Maybe just like have it as like the sponsor segment, or like
Yeah,
or
that
something
sounds
like
good.
that. We could do like a little ASMR sesh.
For sure.
I think it would be funny. Whisper. Except
Kinda
the only
nice.
problem
It's-
with that is that
No, go ahead.
one of my clients for work, their like American affiliate company has an ASMR ad, and I do like the social monitoring for them, and like so many people like tag the Canadian company instead of the American one, and they're like, your ASMR commercial is terrible, take it off, I have to like mute my TV. Like they're so angry, and like just like so much hate directed towards this company. And then like the Canadian affiliate has to reply and be like, I think this message was intended for our US affiliate. If you'd like to direct your concerns to them, like click this link. And yeah, it's kind of
Yikes.
ridiculous.
At that point, just rebrand. Honestly, if it's gonna be a repetitive issue, just change it.
I
I
honestly
know.
feel like I'm on a good side of social media. Like I feel good about my social media because I've managed to dodge a lot of this. Like I feel like social media is such a negative place.
It
I was gonna
is.
say there is no good side of social media. It's all
And
shit.
yet I feel like
shit.
I don't really have a lot of that negative, like antsy, high conflict, high
Mhm.
whatever
Wow.
stuff. And like a friend of mine on her Instagram story like had posted a few like TikToks. She's like a registered dietitian. She has recipes. And she just like made a few TikToks about like her recipes, and she like had a lot of fun. And I was like, I can't wait for this to blow up. Like this girl is so aesthetic. She makes such good food. Like I'm ready. I'm ready to be here from day one. The next day on her Instagram story, she's like, so I just got absolutely attacked by people who despise vegans.
Oh,
They just like found her
no.
and went after her.
It's
And
like
I was just
no.
like, to me, TikTok is such a fun and like positive place. Like I feel like we all share the same inside jokes with millions of people in the comments. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, there's violence on TikTok, which I guess makes sense.
It is.
But I was
Shit.
just like, damn, the fact that I don't experience that is so lucky, because this girl's just trying to mind her own business.
Yeah.
And day one, she just got blasted so badly that she's like, I'm not doing this. I'm going to use TikTok to make the cool videos, and I'll just post them on Instagram where I like everybody.
It's a rough
Oh,
place.
So sad.
It's a rough place. Okay,
That's so
they're both in the
sad.
waiting room. You guys ready?
Born ready.
Waiting on mics and cameras. Mics and cameras.
Letting them come, no worries. It's all good.
Hey guys, you there?
Mo's really coming at him early.
Hey guys,
There we go.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey,
how's it going?
how's it going? Good, good. How are you? The man himself. There he is.
There they are.
The guy I really wanted on here.
What's going on?
Holy.
How's it going, John?
How you doing?
I'm good. Long time no see.
Yeah,
Been a minute.
definitely.
Yeah. How you guys doing today?
Good, good.
Cool, cool. So, yeah, we're already recording. Things are going. We're just gonna see how this conversation goes. Be pretty laid back. Nothing too serious.
Cool.
Cool. You guys have a busy day today, or I know the real estate thing is kind of nonstop, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't really stop. I think the Ngoni's got a lot going on tonight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
4 p.m. and like 10 showings tomorrow. So yeah, like John said, it doesn't stop. It doesn't stop.
yeah. No, I can definitely understand that. I remember practicing rugby with John, because for those who don't know, John used to be my coach, and we played together too. This guy would literally practice with his Apple Watch on and take calls in the middle of practice. It doesn't stop.
Multitasking at its finest.
Holy.
Scouts would make a tackle, get up, and answer a call. Just like be on his phone on the side.
Yelling at somebody else
Yeah.
for something else.
Yeah, can you just please hold for a second? Hey, get up. Stop being lazy. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, pretty much.
No, it was the other way around, man. I was yell at this guy. I'd be like, actually, guys, hold on. And then I yell at this guy. What are you talking about? You can't make that deal happen. What are you talking about?
Awesome.
Man, it's hectic. It's hectic. But I guess before we get into like how crazy the real estate life is, I guess both of you can give us a bit of a background, how you got into the game. I know John know a little bit about you, but if you can let the listeners know, yeah, just like school to now, like how you ended up in real estate.
Yeah, I'll go first, Ngoni. So for me, it was from I was young. I was doing like even high school. I was doing trade jobs. So anything that you didn't need a ticket for, I did. So if it was just a little bit of framing and demolition, it was in drywall. I did concrete. So I was experiencing doing all those on hands. And then my dad started me young with working with his renovations. So he did like renovating. He always renovates his businesses, bars, and then he also has like a home renovation, home building company, Stone River Developments. So he does a few projects a year, and he started me off sweeping the floors for him, and then transitioned me into sweeping the floors for my cousin's company, who they build like 40 plus homes a year in the city here. So then you go into you don't really realize it, but you go into a house that's like just starting being built, and then in the middle, and then at the end, all within an hour, because you're making sure they're clean, you're making sure everything's going right. So got a lot of exposure into houses and the guts of houses and what it takes to build them. Then from there, I finished high school, and I went into construction engineering at NAIT. Did that. It's more of a program and like program project management course. So they teach you a bit about construction, more commercial industrial side, not so much residential, but then really how to like run a team, a company, anything. They teach you kind of more program project management based courses. And then from there, worked as a superintendent for my cousin's company again for about 3 years. I was building 40 to 50 homes a year for him. And then I was kind of doing a little bit of in the show home stuff for them, a little bit of floating and helping them out when I could. And then I was doing the real estate course on the side. I finished the real estate course, got into real estate, 1 year of real estate and home building, which I realized you couldn't do one or the other. And then after that, it was full-time real estate. And yeah, just been tearing up every year since, just doing more and more volume, growing the team more and stuff like that. So solo agent and then into started a team.
Nice. I guess before we get Ngoni's story, like maybe you could tell us like when you realized that real estate was going to be the thing. Like when you chose to do the course, like when did that kind of click for you?
Yeah, I knew I was going to do real estate even before I went to Nate. So I just
Really?
felt like, yeah, I just felt like you're coming out of Nate, actually coming out of high school, and then I did a year of center high because when I was high school, I did sports. So did a year of center high. So coming out of high school at 19, I looked at, I'm like, who's going to buy a house off a 19-year-old doesn't do anything, doesn't know anything, right? That's what they're going to look at it. Even though I did know probably more than they did about houses from like all the time I spent in them to that point, but no one's trusting the biggest investment in life with a 19-year-old with no education, like not a formal education, doesn't own a house of their own, never bought a house of their own, never been approved or even tried to get a mortgage. So I think it was like a stopgap for me to go get some experience. And then I knew construction engineering is such a good course that as far as like jobs here, there you can get a job anywhere. So if I failed at real estate, I could go be, get into project management somewhere north or across the country or in the US. I have lots of friends who are in the course that are all over the world now doing project management. So
right.
Yeah.
And Nate has some of those courses that are a little more like practical based in like the kind of programs that they offer, right? Because Nate also have a business program. So I guess were you just looking for kind of like a different angle or something that you could also use in your real estate? Like what was
I just wasn't
what was
looking into
specifically that?
business. I think like business programs for me, I don't know. I've never done a business program. So from someone outside looking in, I think that you can learn more doing business than being in a business program. Like, I don't
Yes,
think I need to
sir.
be in a business program, then I could just do my own business. I feel like I can't learn program management, project management, and how to build teams, how to build systems and structures and run things on timelines and stuff like that. Like that was something I needed at construction engineering. And then also construction engineering, if you're looking at it at Nate, like in that gambit of courses they offer, there's like architectural tech where you work for architects, and then there's civil techs where you work for civil engineers. In the construction there's no like construction engineer, that doesn't exist. It's not an engineer that you can go into. So those people were competing for positions with civil engineers from the U of A. So like I felt like if I was in that course and I had to go that direction, I would have like more of a safety net. And then it's a little bit different. Like Nate's courses, there's like 9 in the semester. So it was very much like high school, and you're in there from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and then you're doing like a million tasks all night. That's pretty much all we did for 2 years. We just live at they called it the docks in Nate. He lived at the docks and that was it. So it wasn't like a UA course where, you get a little more of a spaces between class schedules, but I'm sure the content wasn't as like in depth. Like you didn't go as deep in the content, but just so much of it. It's a different approach.
Awesome. Right.
Nice.
Well, let's get an introduction from you too, Ngoni. You've been sitting patiently. Give us a little bit your backstory and where you started and how you ended up in real estate.
Yeah, so I actually went to university for geology at U of S, and when I graduated, the oil economy was down. So I was trying to come back and go do the whole engineering geology route, oil and gas fields. So there was no jobs at the time, and then I went to work in a warehouse. That was my university job at the time. So I was working a night shift in the warehouse. Grueling hours. Quality of life was just. It was tough. And then I tried to, get a promotion, move up into sales, something a little bit more cushion. And there was just so much red tape, there was giving me the runaround. And looking back at it, that was actually, one of the biggest blessings because it led me to have the conversation with John. And I remember this conversation clearly. We went to Remedy Cafe and he was breaking down, what it entails. And I remember I don't know how to ask him, like, so, if I do this, can I join your team? And I remember he said it, he's like, get the course done and you have a guaranteed spot on my team. And even like just having that type of backing, it gave me the confidence to go full speed. So 2 years ago, I started working on the course. John was able to get me into a show home to get some experience. So I was doing my real estate course, working the show home, still working on the night shift warehouse. And then we had set a date when we're going to make the leap. And that was actually last year in March when COVID hit. And same thing, do you do it? Do you not do it? And then luckily, once again, having, John's one of my oldest friends, and having that backing, I took that plunge, and, almost a year later, to this day, best decision I ever made. And, here we are.
Nice. I was going to ask how you guys like ended up crossing paths, but you say you guys were like old friends.
Yeah, we're boys
Wow.
from school. We played rugby together. Like it's just like he went real estate, I went geology, but we were boys the whole time.
Yeah. Cool. What's it like working together? You guys can be honest. Like, what's it like working with your boy?
Oh man, I think it's fun, man. I don't know what John will say, but I think it's fun, man. It's this business time, and then there's playtime. But I think we have the same mindset, so it's kind of we're able to run the same way. John, what do you think?
I think it's a cookout every day. Every time this guy gets in the room, it's just frying him up all the time. But no, it's good. Like it's tough because like even Ngoni tells me he's like there's like two of you. There's two different people. It's like I'm dealing with the business one, and then like on a snap you could be like friend John right away. Like we could be like super serious and talking business and delivering like value and knowledge, and then all of a sudden it could be like cooking up our other buddies in the office, whatever it is, roasting on people a little bit. So it's a good dynamic, and I think that's kind of like our whole team's culture. I think that's why we have such like a team with like longevity. Like we have lots of people who, it's not like a revolving door. Real estate teams, the word team is such a buzzword in our industry. It's like so easily used, and there's people just come and go through teams. A month, 2 months, they're gone sometimes, but nobody really leaves our team if they haven't left the industry. So we've had people leave, but most everyone who's left our team has left the industry. Real estate wasn't for them.
Wow, that's a good sign.
Yeah, not bad.
And to it, being a new agent on what John said, and it's like you start out and you don't realize how intense the learning curve is. Like it is monumental. And then John does a great job of like he's there with you the whole process. Our trainings, it's it's second to none. So you're not as outside in the cold as you were if you start by yourself. So then it's you want to stay because like you said, it's fun in the office, and it's a good time. It's a good time.
It's a big learning curve if you know that there's a learning curve, right? That's the problem. Like real estate, it's you do the course, and the course is like just module-based work. So there's 10 modules, an exam, and then another 10 modules, and another exam. And then after that, they're like, here's your key fob. You can get into any house you want. And yeah, just go sell. Like, and that's the extent of the training. The course is basically a big scare tactic. It's here's the rules, here's everything you can't do, here's what will happen if you do those things. And it never says one thing. It's like, here's how you do real estate. Here's how you make a business. Here's how you engage clients, how you convert clients. Like there's none of that. So it's if it's a big learning curve, and Ngoni says it, but he started on my team. If he would have started somewhere else and then joined the team, he would see like what the industry standard is. Like that's like it's a very, very low bar. And the barrier to entry in our industry is also very low. It should be higher in my opinion, but it's very low barrier to entry.
Is it interesting you say that? Because I hear people say that like getting into real estate is like super high risk, and a lot of people don't want to do it. And like you say, there's like it's a pretty high like revolving door, like people just like in and out every few months. And I've even heard people tell me that like if you don't have like 6 months of savings, don't get into real estate, because if you don't sell in those 6 months, like you gotta be able to like take care of yourself. So what are some of those other
if you're not on a team, you definitely need 6 months worth of like living expenses if you're not on a team. Plus you need to be able to market yourself. Like my first year going into real estate, I had $60K in my pocket, and I did like 6 or 7 deals. That's what an average real estate agent will do in our market, is around that 6 to 7 deals a year. So there's always people who are doing none, and there's people doing 100, and it still averages out very low at that 6 to 7. So that top 2% of realtors out of like the 3,000 to 3,300, somewhere in there, realtors is very small. There's like 50 to 60 realtors who like really hit that next level tier, and there's probably like a good couple hundred behind them, and then there's a couple thousand behind that who are just not doing anything really. But yeah, the barrier to entry, like if you're not joining a team, you definitely would need like 6 months of just living expenses at least, because like even just the point of cultivation, like you get your license, and say even if you meet somebody the very next day who wants to work with you and buy a house, they could be shopping for a house for 3 months, and then you do the purchase agreement. You have a conditional period on the purchase, which is usually about 2 weeks. So you're not 3.5 months right now. And then it could be a 60 days until possession, until the seller can move out and the buyer can move in. So you're at 5.5 months, and then you might get paid on that day or up to 2 weeks from that day. So you don't get a paycheck until the deal closes, until the buyer gets the keys. And like that's a huge risk. And if you get a client on day one and they only shop for 3 months, in our market, people shop for 12 plus months easily. Like I have multiple buyers right now that I've met, that I'm working with consistently, that I met over a year and a half ago, and they're still shopping. So it's like, how can you can't gauge it.
Yeah, there's probably people who like shop, like, nah, we're not gonna buy anymore. Just cut it right there, right? You're like,
there's definitely people who do that.
Yeah, those months that you put in, like you get nothing out of it, right? Other than I guess the experience.
There's also the people who shop, and then do a deal somewhere else, and then you're out in the cold. You do all that work and you got nothing. So that's the worst case scenario. Like if they don't buy, there's always the opportunity to add value to their life and to stay in touch with them and stuff like that. Maybe they buy in 3 or 4 years, but if they buy and you're off and you're out of that side of it, then you're just wasting all that time. And like the amount of hours that vulnerable hours for us is like crazy. But the industry does not have a high enough barrier to entry, in my opinion. Like all you need is a high school diploma or equivalency, no criminal record, and English speaking as a language. And that one is a loose requirement too. So it makes it sometimes challenging, but.
Yeah, it's like 70% of realtors don't survive the first year. And I think it's like 85, 87 don't survive.
It's like 86% fail in the first year. And then a further 7% fail within the next year, the second year.
Wow. So what's this difference between being on a team and not being on a team? Like, are there solo realtors? What does that mean?
Yeah, majority of the realtors are solo. Like, and there's a couple ways to get in the industry. Like, there's the solo way. So and that's how I started, which is like, if I had an opportunity to go back in time, I wouldn't have started as a solo agent. Like having a team now, even what I would have learned from their team lead about running a team, it would have helped me now. But, I was stubborn. I thought, I'm going to do some renovations with my family and some houses. My family's going to give me some listings. And then if I sell those houses, why should I have to give money, commission splits away to the team? But I didn't realize that I wasn't going to do much of those deals as I thought I was, and that the team would have gave me some leads to at least grind my teeth on and try and learn something. So I had to learn like literally everything, and that's what most solo agents do, is they have to learn literally everything. But I went into it with like I said, a 60K flow. So I went in with 60K. I did about 7 deals. After like when we start the year, we're 20K in the hole, like with board expenses and Remax. Like January 1st, we're negative 20K every year. So like the 60K I started with plus the 6-7 deals I did, I think I made like 35 grand off those 6-7 deals. So imagine I had like 95 grand throughout the year, and everything I spent money on trying, board expenses, everything like that, I ended the year with only 15 in my pocket. So with living, with the money I made, and with all the expenses that we have, I only had 15 left going into my second year.
And even started John on his first year going solo, like he did 7 on his first year by himself. I started last year on a team, with the guidance, and it's like less than a year I did 15. So then it's like you're able.
Well, you did that. That's not even less than a year. Like if you look at your statistic, like you got your license the first week of March, second week of March. COVID locked us down like the third week of March. And then you really couldn't establish any ground until we got our first break from the quarantine. So like what you did was in June to December, not March to December, right? Like, and that's an anomaly. Like that's not,
yes, sir.
That's a one-time thing, right? That didn't happen before. So, but if he had a full year, like if he had March, April, May, if you can extrapolate that, like divide out the months by the amount of deals he did and multiply it by 3 more months, and whatever he can get.
And that's what happens being on a team, right? Because it's like, again, everything I don't know, it's a phone call away. And John's on his phone like that. You call him any time of the day, he's back to you. So clients trust you much quicker. The process becomes much shorter because you have that backing. So you're actually able to push the pace and be able to do the 15 to 20. If I was there by myself, it would have been, what day is it, what time is it, and you just going around in circles.
So pretty much you're expecting big things this next year, eh, Ngoni? Like for having a full year under your belt?
He's cooking.
Yeah. A good year.
See this guy's with this guy's hustle, there's no way he can't get there, man. You don't even see this guy. No way he can't get there. But yeah, there's the.
Yeah, go ahead, John.
Sorry, Alex. Yeah, there's the so to answer Alex's questions. Yeah, so you can go in as a solo agent, you can go in as a team, or you can go in as like a mentor type. So there'd be like say there's an agent like me who's high producing, and I was a solo agent, and I needed someone to help me with showings or help me with some appointments. I'm too busy. You could come in as a mentor to me, and then kind of learn for a year or two, and then go off as a solo. So those are kind of like the three ways people get into the business. But yeah, the biggest thing, and like I said, is for joining the team is you get that the culture, the leads, accountability, the systems, and the strategies all kind of embedded into the team for you to grow. And we call it class. So we say culture, leads, accountability, systems, and strategies. You got class. And that's kind of like what our structure of our team's built off of. And I said before, there's a buzzword for teams. There's also, like, if there's one good team, there's probably 5 teams that don't do anything for their agents, and they just take commission splits. They do nothing for their agents. So you could come in and spend a week with us, and you spend a week with somebody else, and you see the difference. And they just take commission splits. So there's people still in it, like in any industry, taking advantage of other people's work, right?
So I wanna talk a little bit further then about sort of like the Müve team and their relationship with Remax and how teams sort of work under within the industry, and why yours is different than others, and like what you guys are doing more.
Sure. So I can do like I'll start with the brokerage. So anybody who has a real estate license, you got to be at a brokerage, and your brokerages are your Remaxes, your Century 21s, all those types of names that you hear. Not all Remaxes are the same. So there's, in our city, for example, there's Remax Elite, Remax River City, Remax Excellence, Remax Real Estate. There's a few, there's like 4 or 5 different ones. They're all different ownership groups. So someone owns that Remax brokerage, and you sign up under whichever one you want. Yes, you get the Remax, but there's a sub name that means you're with that particular brokerage. So we're at Remax Elite, for example. It makes no difference if we were another Remax. To me, I like it. It sounds better. Like Remax, we sound like an elite branch of Remax, which is like
marketing.
Yeah, exactly. And depending on your interpretation, like, you're not wrong, because we are a branch of Remax and we are Remax Elite. So you are technically an elite branch of Remax, but we're not different than Remax Real Estate. They could be, they could be better, which they're not. Our brokerage does the highest sales in the city, but they could be if they were that one. So
right.
To be an agent, you got to be under a brokerage. You could be Remax and then a solo agent, or you could be Remax with a team and then the agent in the team. So if you kind of just look at it
and
like
that's
that.
what you guys fall into right now. You guys are
like
that's
what we
team
fall into.
Under Remax Elite, and you guys are agents within that.
Correct. And most teams, like you see, they're like the John Rota team, like John Rota Realty Group or something, right? But like ours has a name that's more of like we're trying to brand like a specific brand, not just a specific person. And that's a whole bunch of reasons for that. But it's everybody under the Müve team. We're on the umbrella there. There's 12 of us.
Do you want to dive into a few of those reasons about why it's more beneficial to brand yourself as a team with a separate name rather than just under a single person?
I can think of one, the John Rota team, and then I show up. People will be like, "You're not John Rota." So right away they feel like they're getting, not the guy.
Right.
Yeah. This is a common thing for teams that are named after the lead. The lead is always on vacation. You call the John Rota team and it's like, yeah, that guy's on vacation, but we can send Ngoni right now, right? And that guy's always on vacation. Doesn't matter who you are when you call, he's on vacation. Right? So that's like the biggest, like the easiest way to get past that objection with those types of teams. But yeah, for me, I think it's me, and I actually own the team with my partner Nick. So I have a partnership. We own the team together. I'm the lead, but yeah, we're partners in the team. And we didn't want to name it like John and Nick Show or whatever however you want to name it. Just for that type of reason. Also for like building longevity within our team. I think people do, like, they'll come to a point where, like, yes, the training and the leads and the accountability is all great for them, but eventually they'll get to a point where, like, they did say 40 deals one year, the next year they did 40, and it's like, what's the next thing? If I'm consistently doing 40 deals, how can I stay challenged? And I think if we don't give them an opportunity to establish themselves aside from the team and with the team, then they'll leave to just challenge themselves. It's not about the money or the transactions anymore. It's just the challenge. And that's how I operate. Like, for me, it's not about the dollars. It's about, like, the challenge to make sure that I'm actually, like, motivated to keep going. Right. So I think it helps stem longevity, because, like, Ngoni, for example, he gets to be 4 years in the business. He's Ngoni. He starts making his brand, doing more videos, getting out there. And he's like with Ngoni, with the Müve Team, or it's Ngoni with John Rota. Right. Kind of seems, it seems like he's branding me, but not branding him. And then we've put so much work into branding the team name, with everyone who brands the team name, everyone adds to it. So the team name grows. So marketing wise, that's the big thing. Culture wise, I think it promotes longevity, and I think it makes people want to stay. You don't have, you have your name on the sign, you don't have my name next to yours, something like that. So you feel some pride there. And then from a business standpoint, like from a straight business mindset, Müve Team is a sellable asset. Like, we grow that brand. I have that company, and all the marketing, or the marketing and the trade printing and all that. If I decide to stop real estate tomorrow, I could sell that asset. It has a brand, it has something. If I can't sell me, right? John Rota Real Estate, I can't be like, here, I want to sell this. Then people could run my company after I sell it to them, and they could run it poorly using my name behind it. Then I have a bad name. So anything I do after that, it's a bad name.
So on paper, is the Müve Team like its own business? Like, because the way you started it,
it's incorporated,
as a business. It's incorporated. Yeah, you could sell it as a business and everything too.
Yeah, it's incorporated. We have all the trademarking and stuff like that. And we have, like, obviously own all the domains, and I have like 30 domains that sound similar to it. So yeah, everything is owned by the Müve Team. It's incorporated as a separate entity. So it is a sellable asset.
So Remax Elite has no ownership on the Müve Team.
No, okay. Just Nick and I have ownership of that. So, like, being a partnership, we could buy each other out, right? Like, for example, if one day down the road, I wanted to quit real estate, Nick wanted to keep going with this thing, he could buy me out, and it could still be the Müve Team, and there's no bump in the road. But if he buys out, if it's John and Nick's show and he buys out John, then it still says John and Nick's show, and people are calling for John's not there. Just, there's an awkward objection conversation that needs to be had almost every time then. So from a business standpoint, that's why I did like that. But it was more based for the culture, but the business was a bonus.
And it's good too, like looking at, like, Müve Team, I'm able to, like, develop my own brand, because I still have my own sphere and Instagram. So those people are there for me. So it's like, when it's the Müve Team and it's Ngoni, it's trust. And then I don't have that weird where it's like, yeah, let me call the guy, and like John said, it's on vacation. And even the way John has it set up, and it's like he lets you develop your brand how you want to do it. So it's like he lets you have complete control how you want to represent your brand. So you're able to just, if it makes sense, and it's it's go have at it, and you have the same freedom as to like yeah, that's what I like about it as well.
So Ngoni, we'll stay on this for a little bit. Obviously, you've had an absolutely banging first year at it, and I guess we wanted to know a little bit about, like, we wanted to know, like, what the approach your team makes with, like, marketing, I guess, like, individual properties, or marketing yourself as an agent, but also I guess I want to start with, like, maybe your individual approach to, like, how do you, when you think about marketing yourself and all that, like, what is your approach with it?
Well, it's part of the systems that we have on the team. We have a social media marketing lady, and she's phenomenal. So she's an expert at what she does. So you sit down with her, you sit down with John, and then they ask you, what do you want it to look like? And then you just give their ideas, and then from then on, we kind of piece out the roadmap with your marketing. I like yoga, so I kind of focus on the things that I like, and then again, because they don't try to control how your brand looks, I'm able to explore it fully, and they just want to to support that. How does it make sense, and how does it tie back into real estate, which is my actual passion and why I do it.
So maybe you could speak more, maybe John, more so like on like the Müve Team brand and what Müve Team represents and what, like, because you put the brand together, right? So tell us like what you wanted it to kind of convey and what your purpose with like the branding was with Müve Team.
I wanted it to be like, just in the initial branding and logoing and stuff like that, I wanted it to be like younger feel, like a more clean cut feel. I wanted to feel just like it would feel like working with us. So if it feels like working with us, it's super easy, super efficient, really clean processes. So I wanted, like, even from the logo to try and portray just that. So that was like from the first thing on the design, and then going into our marketing. When I started off, there's a lot of people selling realtors stuff. Like, I get multiple calls in a week where it's like, hey, I have leads to sell for you, or hey, I'm a marketer for realtors and I can market for you and do SEO and all this stuff. For me, it's just, there's so much of that stuff happening in the space. So a lot of what we do for like advertising, we don't do any mailers, we don't do any like bus benches and stuff like that. Almost none of our marketing is outdoor advertising. I did once have a billboard up, but it was such a good deal I couldn't turn it away. That was all. We never got it again because the guy raised the price, so I said no. But
it was on Gateway, right?
Yeah, it was on Gateway. Yeah, we couldn't negotiate a new price, so.
Mo's a big fan.
Just
Mo's a big fan of that
imagine John's face on just the biggest billboard on Gateway. It was the funniest thing.
48 feet wide by 14 feet tall of just my mug. The best board you ever seen in your life. Actually shipped it to New York. I think it's wrapped on some building in New York now.
That's so funny.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, no, that's the marketing. Like, the idea and the premise is just to communicate that trust, communicate that, we're hustling, we're young, we're ambitious, we want to get things done for you. We want to leave you with a great feeling at the end of the day. We're trying to get those, trying to help you in those houses, trying to promote those 5-star Google reviews. Our approach has been mostly Google pay-per-click, because I don't believe in SEO. I think it's a very long game when you have to spend a lot of money, and I don't trust the people who do them. Like, I don't know somebody that I trust that does it, so I don't trust. Like, I won't use somebody I don't know for it, because it's like, oh yeah, for $1,250 a month, I can do your SEO. I'm like, in my mind, I know what SEO entails. You're probably working for 30 minutes that month. Like, you're not going to actually, like, where's my KPIs? Like, how do I know that you're going to meet any kind of metrics? He just says, I'll do the SEO, and in 12 months, you'll be in the top 3 of Google. I mean, it's impossible. Like, there's so many people in real estate doing that, have been doing it for so much longer. How am I going to be in the top 3? So I've mainly focused on our pay-per-click with our ad spend, because with pay-per-click and the same amount of spend, I know exactly how much our cost per lead is on pay-per-click, and I can say, if I need X amount of leads, I just turn up the tap on the spending. Right. So for us in real estate, we found a lot more success with pay-per-click, classified ads, and then social media ads off our listings. We do almost all of our listings get a video, and then the video goes on social media. The video hooks people to get to the website. The photos keep them there. We have high resolution photos that keep them there, and then they end up filling out a lead form, and then we convert them through our conversion process, which is pretty in depth too. So I don't know if that's kind of what you're asking, Mo, but.
No, yeah, for sure. I think I started off just like trying to get an understanding of like the Müve Team brand, what you present, but I like how we went into the specifics and stuff, because I wanted to get a better idea of like from the outside looking in, it looks like the Müve Team is very like marketing focused. Like, that's like probably, it seems to me like it's like one of the main things you guys want to focus on. So I wanted to get a better idea of just like how important it is to the Müve Team, like how much you invest in it in terms of like all your expenses. Like, is marketing like up there as number one? Is like what you guys are spending on to kind of get a return on that investment?
Yeah, I mean, marketing is probably our biggest spend. If I look at my expenses at the end of the year and just kind of, we break them out and just kind of generalize them, everything that would entail into the marketing budget is definitely the highest budget we spend at the end of every year. So like, even just taking, it doesn't matter if you have a $200,000 condo or $1 million home, it's getting photos, videos, and a 3D tour, like an artificial 3D tour. Actually, before COVID, like 3D tours are all what everybody wants now, right? Because with COVID, people don't want to go to people's houses. But I bought the camera 3.5 years ago, and it just made sense. It just made financial sense. The camera was $12,000, but to get a 3D tour done starts at $300 just for one tour. So I'm like, if I do 50 listings in a year, I can buy 2 of these cameras. Why do I pay these companies for $300 a shoot? Right. So yeah, we've been doing the 3D tour thing for a long time. And yeah, all that stuff is marketing focused, and there's a reason for it. Like there's a whole plan for from the video to the advertising behind the video on YouTube, on Google, on social media, and then to the photos that keep them there, that get the lead form filled out, and then to now with the 3D tour, trying to like, the initial thought with the 3D tour is to qualify like relocation buyers, military buyers, people who are out of town that couldn't see houses in person. So it's trying to warm them up with trying to offer some value and send them houses to click through. But now it's because people are not wanting to go in so many houses. So if there's a 3D tour available, we'll try and convert them with like kind of qualify them for that house more with 3D tour, and then bring them to the actual house. So yeah, there's a lot of spend on marketing. Obviously our marketing manager, we do a lot of photography for like the team. We do a lot of like personal photography shoots, personal video shoots. We just launched a project that what we did was we videoed 126 of the top selling neighborhoods in and around Edmonton. So if you go to our YouTube channel, you'll see a neighborhood tour series, and there's 126 different videos for specific neighborhoods in Edmonton. And that was like, we had the neighborhoods researched, then scripted, then recorded and shot, and then we voice over them with the dialogue, and then cut the videos and posting them like once a week as content. They're in our email newsletter with our E-Town Eats, with like some of the series that I'm doing now. I'm doing a home renovation series. I'm doing an 8-episode series or 10-episode series on that, something like that. And then we're doing a new home build from start to finish series. So constantly just branding like that. Lots of video, but no outdoor print. Like if you look around, a lot of realtors are still sending flyers, like tons of flyers. It's just not what we do. We just don't do flyers.
I might have to start checking out some of those series. I've lost cable recently, so my HGTV, like I have this craving that I need to meet. So
Yes.
I might have to go check that out, because that sounds like a lot of fun. That sounds great.
Yeah, there's a lot there. You can see all my bad videos, and then you can see them get worse over time.
Is this focus on marketing and having it being one of like the biggest elements, is that kind of like standard in the industry? Because I imagine it's no, because it seems like it'd be quite a saturated space, and you'd want to find a way to differentiate yourself as much as possible, but it's really not. Hey,
that's how we're doing it. And that was exactly why we're doing it. It's not saturated. Like it's, the people are not doing the marketing like we're doing. It's just the agents are not doing this. And then most of the time, like if you're looking at like per listing, like we're talking about the Müve Team brand, they're not spending as much on their personal brands as we are. They're not even spending the time or effort. Like there's the equity and the sweat equity. They're not spending the sweat equity to even get to the point where they're like, okay, well, this is how much I have to actually spend money wise to do this. So it comes with the effort, it comes with the hustle first. And then from like a listing standpoint, like how we market the homes, it all comes down to the commissions that you get from the seller. Because every commission, there's a standard in the industry, but everybody wants a discount. And there's only so much you can do to the point where you're working for free. So sellers in some cases shoot themselves in the foot for the marketing of their homes when they don't want to pay for the commissions. I don't know if that makes sense. So some realtors are limited by that. There's like discount brokerages and stuff like that you can go to. So I wouldn't expect to see anything like that from them.
It's really interesting. I mean, I don't know if I'm just young, but that's kind of what I always think, just like driving and seeing these billboards for just random real estate companies. I'm like, who is really just like driving and is like, oh, I'm gonna take down their phone number and call them right away. Like, I don't know if it's just because things have changed or I'm just more internet oriented than some other people, but it really does seem that kind of like that external advertising and billboards and benches and things like that is really just kind of old school, and I don't know how effective it really is anymore.
Yeah, it's like there, but it doesn't really say anything. Hey, because I feel like I've always grown up seeing like random faces everywhere and zero takeaways from any of it.
Exactly.
I mean, Mo, how long do you think you were laughing at my billboard for? Like 2 years it was up, something like that?
I loved it. Oh, so good.
To your point, Jenaya, is that I had one real estate related phone call in 2 years off that board.
Yeah.
That's arguably the best board in the city. And I had one call in 2 years. Like it has to be. The way that Calgary Trail turns and it curves, it hits you right in the mouth, and then in rush hour, you're in a parking lot right in front of it. Like you can't
like
help
it
but
or
stare
not.
at it.
Like it or
I'm
not,
right
John
there.
is there.
You can't do nothing. There's no escape. Every red light, they move 5 cars forward, and there's like, you could be like in a 20 car lineup. You could see me for like 10 minutes, and maybe that's why they didn't call. It was too much of me.
Yeah, maybe putting your face on there was a bad move, eh, bud?
Had to put me up there somewhere. No, you're right, Jenaya. I don't think you get a lot. There is a place for that stuff, but it's with the whole marketing plan, and it's called, like in real estate, it's geographical farming. So, for example, if I wanted to farm my neighborhood Otwell, where I live, it would be flyers to the neighborhood 1 to 2 times a month. It'd be involved with the community league, community events, helping organize and sponsor those things, donating. It'd be bus benches in the neighborhood. If there was a billboard going into the neighborhood from a major roadway, it'd be getting that billboard. And then it'd be doing open houses in that neighborhood at least every second weekend. And then it'd be door knocking every door in that neighborhood at least every quarter. Wow. So it's like, you can do geographical farming, and that could be like your whole source of business. There's realtors who do that in the city, and they're really successful in those neighborhoods, and they do a really good job of it. But if you're not going to geo farm, for me, I just don't see the point. If I put like a bus band, 2 on the north side, 1 on the south side, and 3 in the west, and like, yeah, let's get some leads. Like, it's not going to happen.
Right. It's kind of an all or nothing approach with the two methods. Yeah,
you're all in on geo farming if you're doing it. Like, you don't have time for nothing else. And you don't see like an ROI like 12 to 16 months. You got to do something in real estate for at least 12 months. Like, once we commit to doing something, it's 12 months minimum. Yeah. Because we probably won't see an ROI until at least around that time.
Yeah, for sure. So I guess kind of moving a little bit forward, I'm really interested to hear how like the pandemic has shifted what you do, even just from like a sales perspective and just kind of one-on-one with clients, like what that looks like. What's it like having to wear a mask and trying to sell a house? Like, I'm really interested to hear.
Ngoni, what do you think?
I mean, see, the nice thing about us is like it's usually you and the couple, so it's not that people to begin with. And then with the masks, usually carry a couple extra ones. You have some hand sanitizer. Our board has us filling in the COVID disclosure forms, and sometimes sellers have certain instructions, so we just make the adjustment. And it's all about meeting people where they're at. So some people are uncomfortable; they just kind of want to stay at home. So if they need a 3D tour, it's available. We provide that. If it's not there, sometimes we'll go into the house and just FaceTime.
Yeah.
Around the house. Yeah. And yeah, it's about meeting people where they're at, and you're still helping people buy a home. So you don't want to force anyone or have them feel uncomfortable. So if they're ready and they're willing to move, we're there for them. And if not, we'll just put it on pause. But with the pandemic, everyone's at home. So then everyone's forced to look at their space. So if you were working and your wife is in your ear, your kids right here, it's like this is not enough space. So people are looking to upgrade and kind of get something bigger with a little bit more space. So we're finding we're definitely busier this time around. And then people didn't travel over the holidays, so disposable income was still higher. So usually January, February, the slow months, but now we're still busy today, busy tomorrow, busy Sunday, and we're cooking. So, spring and summer, I can only imagine what that's going to look like.
Yeah.
Every month since COVID, the first quarantine broke off, was better than any month previous 5 years of that month.
Wow.
Like we've been having like tremendous amount of sales, and for me, like I struggle with because I see a lot of people are like on CERB and they lost their jobs and all this kind of stuff. So we haven't really been like flaunting like, oh yeah, we've had our best year ever, because a lot of people are having their worst year ever. Of course, so we haven't really been flaunting, but like if we were asked, yes, we've had our best year ever last year, and it was because of COVID. Like the thing what happened is that like nothing happened during spring because everyone was at home, and everyone has like this preconceived time frame of when they're going to make this move. So I'm thinking 2 years ago, I'm going to move spring 2020. That's when I want to do it. It's the perfect time for me. But then I get locked down. So my plans get shifted into summer 2020, plus the people who already wanted to buy in summer 2020. So what happened, we had a double batch of buyers wanting to move at the same time. And then I think the rest of the people just got motivated by, a couple of things like, hey, I still have a job right now. so I want to make this move and get this house before I don't have a job, or if it goes away. And also, like Ngoni said, people are staying at home. They're like, this is not enough space for me. I want something bigger. And then we were talking the other day with another guy who does a lot of like rental in Edmonton. He places a lot of renters, and he said that we're 20%. We have a 20% dip in downtown rentals right now.
Wow. Yeah,
So, like,
makes sense.
Like nobody wants to live downtown because the spaces are too small. Like they're feeling the spaces are too small, and they're not close to work. They're not walking to work anymore, right? All the restaurants and stuff like that are not open. They're closed.
Mhm.
It's just there's no hockey games. There's no arena. So I think nobody wants all the polls for downtown aren't there. So people are like, why am I going to stay stuck in this 600, 700, 800 square foot apartment so I can go buy a house in the suburbs or whatever it is, pay probably less than the rent on the mortgage and get more house.
Yeah.
So,
but I do think it'll fall out.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, probably eventually. But
I think next year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's going to change for you guys then when it does?
We just got to be better. We just got to keep getting better. That's it. Yeah. If it takes us six conversations to get someone to come see a house, and next year it takes us 10, then we got to have 10 conversations. That's what that is.
So more about what's happening now though. Like, are people? I'm just like curious about like the buying decision and like the consumer behavior of people who are like shopping for houses. Like, are people just like down just to buy a house without even seeing it until the day of possession? Is that something that's like new?
People really don't do that. People only do that like relocation, military, stuff like that, or brand new builds. But it's some, like if it's like they're designing a house and it's not built yet, it's still on paper. But that's still to some degree they've seen something from the builder. They've seen their show home, even if it's not the exact same house, or they've seen a spec model in the neighborhood that's just sitting ready for sale. They can see their standard finishings, you can see stuff like that. So no, not a lot people are buying without seeing.
Okay. Are they buying at different like rates then? Are they maybe just like by the time they get in contact with you and they start talking, or is the process faster enough because they feel like they have less time? Like you said, they might lose their jobs, they're uncertain in the future.
Definitely faster. It's definitely faster. Yeah. Everything has just gone like on overdrive since last year. So if it took 3 months, it's taken like a month and a half. Like it's double the time now, or like cut in time in half.
Wow.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, but I do think it will go this way for a year for this year, and I think next year it will probably steady out because like we're dealing with the people who have right now. All the people who are moving are people who still have their jobs and have money in place. We're at some point these people are going to be settled in, like they are not going to be moving again for another 5 to 10 years, whatever it is. And all the people who aren't working right now are the people that we are going to need to buy houses are not going to be able to be approved for mortgages because you need X amount of work history at a certain position. You need to show at least a couple months pay stubs and have a job letter that's confirming certainty, and it might be challenging to get those things. So I think we'll see a lull into next year. So you're going to ask Alex, you're going to say something?
Well, I was going to say that I think when we wanted to bring up this topic, we figured that it might become more challenging just because when you're not able to talk to someone in person, if there is like physical barriers, it becomes kind of like harder to connect. But I guess if they still have that desire and if they still like are looking for that home, then that still kind of keeps things in like a positive light, I guess, and makes your job just as easy, if not a little easier.
I mean, we were able to like it's actually kind of helped us too. I've done a lot of like first meetings on Zoom, so I'm able to scale. There's no drive time in between, so I'm not having to drive to the south side and meet somebody, and then half an hour to the north side and meet somebody else. Like it's Zoom on and Zoom off to the next one. So we have all of our marketing packages have been converted to a digital version, so we can share a screen, walk people through it, and then we do a lot of cool things like on our website. We can use like a polygon tool to like draw an area around a specific map that they want to live in, and it's very interactive. Like we still make the process very interactive on Zoom. So yeah, we try to adapt as best we could.
I'm also curious because I think we found that too, being students and having group projects and whatever, like you're always hopping on Zoom at whatever time of day works, I guess. Meanwhile, before you'd be like, I don't have time to get there, or I don't want to be on campus at 8 p.m. But when you're like at home, you're at home. are these potential like first meetings on Zoom, like, is that something that you could see maybe even keeping to kind of keep that scale up, or is it like not worth it for like the in-person benefit that you might receive?
It depends on the person, really. Like some people want to have they want to have a conversation about what's going to happen before they even go see a house. But most times, buyers just want to see the house. Like if they don't know you and it's the first time you're meeting somebody, the only value so far that you have to them is opening the door to that house. Because they don't know you, they don't like you, they don't trust you yet, and like, what else is there? They could have the Zoom conversation, but they don't know if you know anything about nothing.
Right.
So right now they came in off the listing, they want to see the listing, they want to see it now. So it's speed to lead as fast as you can get to them and deliver them value while you're in the meeting. Just building rapport with them, getting them to like you a little bit, and then we have our presentations that are in depth but summarized, so we're able to go through those with people and try and build some trust, and then keep working with them from there. So yeah, not a lot of people want to do the Zoom thing, and not a lot of people wanted to come sit down in the office and let's talk about the home buying process and let's get a search set up. Like this like rarely ever happens.
Do you guys ever get like a little bit nervous when it's somebody new and you're like, oh, like I'm showing them a home, I hope they like me? Be honest.
Probably not for the same way that you're saying it. I get nervous that that they're gonna say something to offend me or something, and then I'm not gonna like them.
Ooh.
Oh,
like what?
Okay.
Well, there was like the only time that's really happened where I didn't want to work with somebody is like there was this like an extreme racism, and I just wasn't about it. And I just told them like I'm not the one for you. Like I can't. Like there's a preference, and there's a general degree of understanding where it's like this is what I want, and this is the area I want to be in because I'm around more similar people to my community, and that's okay. I'm okay with that. If you want to be in a specific neighborhood because you're close to your community, that's fine. But when you say I don't want to be near certain people of another demographic, and if you're using like derogatory terms or not, I just can't sit well with me. So yeah, no, not the way that you think, Alex. Not that way. I'm usually pretty good with people, and
well, you're also a seasoned veteran too. So you know your power as a real estate agent. You know what you got, and you can walk away from something if you really need to. But
yeah, that might be a better Ngoni question. Ngoni,
I'm wondering how you feel.
Absolutely, man. You get nervous, man. It's like a first date every single time. Are you gonna mess up?
That's what I'm looking for.
You gotta use the washroom. Like all these things run through your head. And and each time you do it, you realize they're just as nervous as you, and you're gonna fumble. It's never as bad as you think, but in your head, you're like, oh my goodness, here we go. And then
don't say something stupid. Don't say something stupid.
No, Ngoni, are you bringing flowers on these first dates every time, or what? What do you bring with you? I just want to get better, so you tell me. Like I'm just trying to learn.
Oh yeah, no, and like some clients you meet, they're like your friends, so it doesn't even you guys click just like that. Some of them it's like different interests, and so you really feel it. You're like but John always says there's 6 different kind of people. And once you've met all 6, you can kind of navigate almost everybody you meet pretty well.
John, walk us through those 6 people.
No, we don't have time for all 6 people. 5 of them are sitting here, and whoever was supposed to be at this meeting that didn't come is the 6th one.
These are industry secrets, all right? We're not gonna get this out of them so fast.
Müve Team trade secret there.
There's also the people that like I have my 1 in 3 rule that I always try and motivate the team by, because there's moments where it can get very discouraging. Like the person, you put a ton of work into them and they don't convert, like we were talking about earlier. But I have the 1 in 3 rule where it's like you're new and you're 1 to 2 years, 3 years in the business. You don't want to give up anybody. Like I'm okay with letting the odd person go because I know it'll be better for either they are a better fit for somebody else, or like mental for me, my mental, it'll be better for me not to deal with those people. Like we just don't jive. And I'm okay letting them go because I know I can find 3 other people who, with the same amount of effort that I put into that one person that doesn't work with me, that I don't work well with, I can put the same amount of time into 3 people and get 3 transactions done versus 1. right? So there's always, that's like the hardest thing to learn as a new realtor, is like where identifying that one and just knowing when to cut bait.
So while we're on the topic of still like meeting these new people, maybe getting nervous, and Ngoni, I'm pretty sure you probably still remember your very first client, very first like deal, eh?
Oh, I remember.
Do you want to talk us through that?
So it was.
Yeah, let's hear that.
It was the acreage deal actually, and I'm meeting these guys like an hour out of the city. You know, I don't know them. My phone reception's about to die. You know, I sent John my pin location. Come get me if you don't see me in an hour. I remember they were pulled up in the truck, so I pulled up right next to them. You know, these two guys, and they have their shades on, and I can't see their eyes, man. And it's awkward, it's thick. And then, you know, you get out, hey, how was the drive? And you're slowly trying to chip at them. And then finally, you know, you get your first joke in, everyone, you get a chuckle, you get another one, and then everyone relaxes. And then John always says, you know, people either need to know, like, and trust you. So after by the third chuckle, you know, they're like, all right, this guy's not bad. And that was actually my first deal.
Hey.
And,
1 hour in the car is 1 hour in the car is way too much time. Like, that's so much time to be like, I got this. And then you're like, no, I don't got this. And then you're like, no, I do got this. Like, you have so much time to fluctuate 1 hour in the car. Holy.
Yeah.
That's so good.
I don't remember my first client. Actually, no, my first deal was my cousin. I don't remember somebody who wasn't my family, my first deal.
Was it?
Go back to my spreadsheet, I can find it. I went for, oh yeah, my cousin's brutal. And send me the clip of this so I can send it to him. He's brutal. He chiseled me for every ounce of commission I could be chiseled for. And I didn't know any better because I didn't know nothing, because I didn't join a team and they don't tell you nothing during the course. So basically working for free for this guy. Yeah, he's brutal. I'm gonna let him know. I'll call him after this.
You would think, yeah. You're like, hey, I just remembered, actually. What the heck was that about?
Yeah, you owe me some money and I'm coming to collect.
You would think that family would take it easy, but not this guy, hey?
Not Italians. If you're an Italian, you work for free. Family discount. Family discount.
Oh my gosh. Unreal.
Man. Well, I think we got a pretty good wrap with like the whole COVID situation. And John, you mentioned earlier how like you're kind of thinking a year ahead, you know, what it's going to be like after, you know, like maybe the lull and stuff. Like how much are you kind of maybe trying to plan for the future? I know they say don't plan too far in the future because you don't even know what's going to happen, but are you kind of trying to like maybe just like foresee what's going on?
Yeah, right now I'm taking it like a quarter at a time.
Yeah.
So we can't really do too much more than that. I think like I'm looking into next year, but not too much. I'm just taking it a quarter at a time. I think it's going to go back to what it was before COVID hit. Mm-hmm. Just that kind of like that rate of sales. I think it'll go back to that. So our standard before will be our lull. So we won't really be like in a deficit.
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll just be a lull from where we are now at this heightened market.
So I guess you're not buying into the whole like, oh, the next generation, Gen Z, are not looking to buy houses as much. How are we gonna like adjust for that? What's the plan for that? Because that's a lot what we hear about as students now is like generational shifts and like trends and stuff like that.
Yeah. I think like the first time home buying age got way older.
Yeah.
Like even still, I have a ton of friends who I'm like, I'm gonna get in the business. My friends are probably gonna buy houses in the next 2 or 3 years. I'm gonna be set. I still have like so many friends that haven't bought a house yet. So eventually I'll be set. But right now, no, I don't know. I think that stuff is kind of to me that's based on each household, like how they're brought up, how they're raised, each individual person, and then the partners that they like. If they're a couple, their partners that they, you know, come with will have similar probably interests, and they'll want to either buy houses, or they're going to want to travel, or they're going to want to do more schooling, or they're going to want to do whatever. That's just what they're going to do. I don't think that we can possibly forecast how much people are going to move or buy. And then like a lot of times you're looking at the buying, like you're talking about like first time home buyers and they're going to break in the market and stuff like that. But there's also like the sellers, and there's people who are selling off all their assets. So those people are like, with real estate, we have a market, like a double-ended market, where you're talking about like other markets. I don't know what, I can't have a good example, but when they're going to actually start making impacts into those marketplaces. But we have people who are exiting our marketplace, but when they exit, they do business. Like they have to sell their last house, they have to sell the family home, Yeah, so there's two ends to the real estate market. If that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
And Mo, those articles always come out. They always have these predictions, and they're never right. Like last year when COVID happened,
Yeah.
you know, you would have thought we would have had to park our licenses. You know, so it's like they always give these articles, and it's like these are not realtors; they're just experts. Yeah, and it's like we'll always adjust to the scope of the land, and make the adjustment, and because we're there to help people, and people will always need help. Whether you're going to rent, just some way somehow, and we're always gonna be there to help with that process.
Yeah, like you might have to adjust maybe like how you operate as a team, and maybe like adjust to the real estate kind of conditions at the time. But I guess people always need somewhere to live, right? So
yeah, and if it's 10 out, like Don was saying, like 10 calls, 6 calls before, now you need 10 calls, then it's like now we're just making 10 calls. It's like we'll just make the adjustment. And then when you help people, and like they don't know the whole process at all, and at the end, they're moved in with their family, they're happy. It's such a emotionally rewarding feeling, because like it is a scary thing, and it's the wild west, and there's a lot of sharks in this industry. So it's like if you walk in there and you have no idea what you're doing, it's like you're gonna get got, and that's just the reality of the situation. So and then being able to help people with that, it's definitely rewarding.
no, I bet.
That's awesome.
All right, how do you feel, guys? Do you want to transition into our guest segment here?
Yes,
Yeah,
I'm very
sure.
excited for this.
I'm really excited about this guest segment too. So
Yo, y'all look ready too.
And we need location. Okay, one thing you need to say location. You could say the same. You could say a house specs, but if you maybe 100K swing in 2 different locations, you gotta give us like a city quadrant.
Alex, you got that ready?
Mo, you said we look ready. Me and John have been warming up all week for this.
Yeah, and Ngoni also paid off Jenaya here for the answer. So just so you know. Don't think I don't know about that, Jenaya.
I don't even know. I haven't even looked at the questions. I'm going in blind.
Plausible deniability.
So for those listening who don't really know what's going on yet, our guest segment today is we're gonna be playing The Price is Right with various houses around Edmonton. We had a very in-depth research team go over various locations. That in-depth research team was my girlfriend. She loves looking at houses. So when I told her she had a list ready within like an hour. It was incredible. So yeah, we're gonna show you a few houses. We're gonna give you some details about like location and size, and we have some pictures too. And basically what you're gonna have to do is get as close to the price as you can without going over. All right.
Okay, over. Okay.
Without going over. That's how The Price is Right works. If you go over, you're out. So you want to get as close as you can without going over.
All right.
So what I'm gonna do is
we might have to do this for a team training.
I'm very excited for this. I'm very excited to see this happen. John, I know how competitive you get. So I just want to see how this rolls out.
Yeah, if I lose, we gotta delete the whole recording and do this whole thing again. Unless you want to.
Alrighty, so my internet connection decided to be a little bit angsty, but I am back. Oh gosh, Mo, can you let me screen share real quick?
Yeah, I got you.
You're the host, so just give me that permission. We're doing it live,
sure.
Baby. We're doing it live.
We're competitive on the Müve team, man. Any chance you get you could just feel everyone starts to warm up, and
look at the sweat. Look at Ngoni's sweat right now. Holy.
Not every day you get a chance to I might be able to beat John today, so the opportunity got me excited.
All right. So in front of you, we have the first house. The first house is called Backyard Waterfall. It's 2-bedroom, 4-bathroom, 1484 square feet. This 1,500 square foot home located in the Glenora area offers an open and airy main floor layout fit with the chef's kitchen, perfect for entertaining. Despite this home only having 2 bedrooms, this house makes up for its lack of indoor space with a beautiful outdoor patio with a waterfall feature.
Okay, go ahead, Ngoni.
569.
569. Okay. I'm gonna go. I'll go 790.
Ooh,
You're gonna
big
go
jump.
790. Holy, that's bold.
Glenora,
Alright.
and that's a beautiful home. And backyard waterfall. You telling me there's a waterfall back there? You're not showing me?
There, no, it's right here. It's in this picture here. I'll make it a little bit bigger so you guys
Zoom.
can. Oh gosh. Addiction.
Okay, let's go 790. Let's try 790.
790. All right. Well, I'm gonna pull up the real numbers here real quick.
So let's just recap the guesses real quick before we reveal the actual price.
So yeah, before we reveal the actual price, Ngoni, you went with 569. John went with 790. The real price is 1.1 million.
I knew it. I
So-
was gonna say 1.1, but I didn't want to. You read the description and it threw me off. You're like, this makes up. When you said it makes up for small inside, I was like, damn. But yeah, I was actually thinking 1.1. Before you read it, I was thinking 1.1, but then you read it and it threw my whole thing off.
Real estate
I
might
never
not be
read
for me
those.
then.
By the way,
With
I
marketing.
never read the descriptions, so maybe that's why. Not used to.
Well, there we go. Now we know to take everything I say with a grain of salt. You guys are the experts here, so don't be telling me I misled you, all right? You guys are the experts.
Ngoni, you're selling that house in another neighborhood. That's
All right.
that neighborhood.
I'm
This is
warming
house
up
number
now.
2.
Warm up round.
This is house number 2. We call this one the blue basement. It has 6 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and 1,100 square feet. So this 1,100 square foot single family home located in the Parkview neighborhood offers a newly renovated upstairs area and 6 bedrooms perfect for a large family. This cozy bungalow will brighten your day with its spunky bright blue basement and beautiful backyard fit with a large deck.
I'm gonna say 600 grand.
600.
It's actually 14312 87th Ave, and it's listed at 390. 390 is my low, I think. I think it's just got price reduced actually.
Guy knows the house.
This guy's
You
on
know what I
another
mean?
level.
It wasn't even a fair
I think
challenge.
it might have just got price reduced, but yeah, it's like just between 390 and like 415.
I'm
Somewhere in there.
shook.
John, how do you know this house?
What did you say
The
the
address?
was?
14312 87th Ave.
That's exactly the house now that I look at the other photos that I have.
Unbelievable.
So, Ngoni went with 600, John went with 390, and the actual price that we have listed is 420.
420. Yeah.
So-
I thought somewhere I thought it was 4. I thought they just reduced the price on that one. They didn't though.
Wow.
John,
Wow.
how do you know the house? How do you know the house, John?
I go to like 50 houses a week. I've been in that house 3 times already.
So you just recognize it, eh?
Wow.
That's so funny.
Yeah, I have it on my list here. I just had to look up my address list
Goodness
from when I
gracious.
showed it.
All
But
right.
it doesn't have prices on there, unfortunately.
Let's share number 3 here. All right. This one is called the Ultra Modern Marble.
Your girlfriend's got
This
expensive
is the
taste.
last one, right?
No, this is the second last one.
Second last one, okay.
Your girlfriend's got expensive taste. You need to like.
This one
order
has
something
3
nicer.
bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, and about 4,700 square feet, or 4,600. This ultra-modern 4,600 square foot home located in the Windsor Park neighborhood offers a spacious living area and stunning views over the river valley. With its double balconies, this home offers plenty of room for both indoor and outdoor entertainment.
I'm gonna say 4.5 M. 4.5 mil.
4.5.
mil.
That one's tough. I'll go 4.5 and $100.
Damn.
Wow.
That's how these things go.
Price is Right. You ever watched it? That's it.
That's how she works around here, yeah. And the actual price for this bad boy is 3.275. So you both overshot it. You both overshot it a little bit, but that's okay.
Okay.
That just shows
That's
that you guys
okay.
are human, because John with the last one freaking called it out for what it was, just the address and everything.
My bad. Just showing off.
That was unreal. No, we love it. We love it. All right. This is going to be our final one for today. This one is called Original Trim. This has 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and 1,100 square feet. Let me just get the description there. This charming 1,100 square foot home located in the Ritchie neighborhood offers original wood trim and beams displaying its rich history. With its updated bathrooms and new wood floors, this 2-story home is the perfect balance of old meets new in this up-and-coming neighborhood.
John, why are you laughing? Why are you laughing, John? Why are you laughing, John?
John, don't tell me you recognize it, John.
9852 76th Avenue.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna say 400 grand. 400 grand.
You're gonna say 400.
Yeah.
I think you're over. What is the price of this one? 76th Avenue is a super busy street, and this one's right on it. I think this one's the one right across from Faro Sandwich Shop, actually.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'll go 370.
Can confirm.
370.
370.
I don't remember the price. I was in it though. I've been here.
This one's yours to lose here. The actual price, oh my gosh, John, you were so close. It's 367.
Yeah.
So you both overshot it, but that's a respectable overshoot. Ngoni, listen, man, it's your first year out here, all right? We're just keeping you humble. We heard you had a cracking year. We're just keeping you humble. That's all we're doing here.
You know, Alex, the roast that's going to come from this loss today, man, I'm going to hear this for the next year. So yeah,
we'll send you guys the timestamp, and you guys just share it around the office.
I think, Ngoni, I can't believe you don't remember the address of every random listing that comes up. Come on, man. What's wrong with you?
Are you studying or no? Like,
I was in this house last week.
oh.
But that one, yeah, that one's right across from Faro, and that's like it's 2 doors off 99th Street on 76th Avenue. That one's gonna be tough.
Wow.
And the stove is like the smallest stove I've ever seen. Poor house. Couldn't make a turkey. That's what the buyer said. We couldn't make a turkey.
Vegetarians.
Yeah,
I
that's
take
your
it.
market.
Did you make a faux turkey even? Like, aren't those supposed to be like the same?
You can cut it up.
It's not worth it.
Oh, right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Those are our 4 homes for the day. Thank you for playing our game. We always like to throw something new at our guests to, you know, have fun a little bit. And we know you guys were competitive, so we thought you'd enjoy it. I don't know. I think we had.
No fun was had.
I'm gonna have some fun with that. I'm gonna have some fun with that for a long time.
That's just to clarify the final results. It was 2-0 for
Thank
John.
Thank you for that.
Yeah. No, I also want to let him know that he also overshot a couple, and he's got work too. It wasn't 4-0. It was 2-0.
Yeah.
So
there you go.
Yeah, if you went the other way with closest to the price, it'd be 3-1.
Yeah.
Very true. Very true.
Still would have lost. So,
an L's an L.
And that was an L. I'm gonna take my L.
At least it's not a sweep.
That's true. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us today and enlightening us on the real estate industry and marketing within it and everything in between, and playing our game. We really appreciate it. We know that real estate's a very busy job to have, and we know that time is very precious. So we wanted to thank you for joining us today to talk with us.
Yeah, no, thanks for having us. It was fun. Hopefully I helped you guys out too.
Definitely fun. Nice to meet you guys.
Nice seeing you.
Yeah, you too, guys.
And happy belated birthday also.
Oh yeah, yesterday was your birthday.
Whoa.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Do I get 2 points for that? Does that make
Yeah.
you?
Yeah, we'll give it to you. It's
You should have told me. I would have sent you some secret messages or something to give you a hint. My goodness.
We'll give you a tie on that.
So here we are.
I don't know about all that. This isn't preschool in the going. Not everybody gets a ribbon, bro.
Oh my gosh.
All right, thank you guys. Thank you.
Sure.
Nice seeing you.
John, Ngoni, Müve Team, appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Have a good one, guys. Woo.
That's a wrap.
Low
That was a
key,
fun one.
I feel like we're just gonna cut this part out, but I feel like this was like this was probably one of our best episodes. I feel like looking into like what we talked about and like what we kind of went over, like there was a lot of tangibles, and it was like a lot more focused too. And then we even got to spice it up like towards the end, give it new life with. I'm like, how nervous were you? Be honest, and like the games and
that
stuff.
was so good.
Yeah.
I love
Honestly,
because I'm like I'm such
one.
an anti-John. Like I was like, be honest, like were you kind of nervous? John's like, not like that, bro. Like
John's
what do you
like,
mean?
Yeah,
What?
I was also I was a little nervous about this episode. One, because I know him, so I'm like, I was again to go like record someone you already know, the dynamic be different. Also, like I knew like I know John, I know you guys. I'm like, it's not really like will it work? But it worked. It worked.
It's like combining your two friend groups at your birthday party.
Exactly, it was exactly what it was. I'm like that's my rugby friend group, which is like a very rough crowd, and there's like you guys are just like very just like wholesome and nice and just like good times. So I'm like, oh, how's this gonna go?
Sorry, we can't be tough like all your other friends, Mo.
I have more fun around you guys. Don't tell anybody.
Ooh.
Sheesh. That's going on the pod.
No.
We're back on the record.
Oh god. But yeah, no, that was really good. I agree. There's more tangibles, more like things people will actually get from it.
He actually, he actually like went into like marketing strategies and what goes into it, and then like the different kinds of like that whole geofarming. Which was really cool. So
which is interesting because he doesn't have formal education. He's not like a marketing expert or anything, but like just.
But if he's like the lead guy, then he needs to
know
what's going on.
Exactly.
It's true. Yeah, I mean, I honestly, for the debrief, I don't even know where to start. Like that was just concise.
Mo and I had a moment where we like to write down little quotes or like little key points. And the one that resonated with us a lot was this like, it's so like hustle culture, but it's the what was the exact quote? I'm literally blanking.
So John said there's like equity and then there's sweat equity, which is like how much work and time you put in. And then like, at the exact same time, me and Alex scrolled down to this exact same part of the doc and started typing in sweat equity together.
On the same line. Like
it was the same line. It was so funny. And we just looked at each other and
we had a little smile in the camera.
What if our cursors touched in the Google Doc?
Yeah.
It's one of those like when your hands touch together.
Yeah.
Did you feel that too, Mo? Yeah.
I felt it. I think my blue cursor and your pink cursor combined to make green for a quick second there.
Green?
Oh, purple.
Bro. Color theory.
Let me go look at a color wheel real quick. That's funny. Yeah, purple,
God.
sorry.
Damn.
The guy likes green.
I do like green.
It's very like hustle culture though, and real estate is very individual and kind of hustly in that way. And that kind of like sweat equity is something that I'm honestly surprised that a lot of real estate groups and firms are not really doing.
Yeah, like, I agree.
When I asked that about like, because it feels pretty saturated, at least to me. Like I think about a real estate person, I'm like, they're all kind of the same at face value, at least until you get to know them.
Totally.
I was surprised that they wouldn't be trying to take more advantage of that before you even met them, before you even called them. Because otherwise it's just like a large group of people and it's anybody's game.
Yeah,
totally.
I think there might either be like just like waiting on either the house like is it gonna sell itself, because a lot of people are like have that mentality in like sales and business, like the product's good, it's gonna sell itself. But
yeah, no, that's so true, honestly. Even just in my experience for like clients that I've worked with, we have worked with a couple home builders, and obviously it depends, but oftentimes it's like if we build it they will come approach, and it's just not how it works. So
no, or they're probably relying too much on like connections. Like I know like when John was starting out, he was probably like relying more on like his family, cousins, with some family business. But like connections only get you so far. You know what I mean? Like how many people do you know that can like make you a living by selling one house?
Totally.
There might be like moving forward, probably like a growing space for that in real estate, and a lot of people maybe starting to take that approach that maybe the Müve team is taking, and maybe in marketing, and you're trying to figure out like, if I wanted to put in work, where could I put in work? Like, it seems like there could be a lot of space for that moving forward, where a lot of people are going to want to start really branching out into the digital space and into different things. If they're not already doing the whole like geo farming tactic that they also mentioned, because it's just a different space, and it's a different way of marketing. So
definitely.
that was one of the cool things from today.
Yeah. Also, another cool thing too, just seeing like how they both took very different paths to get to real estate, which is like kind of encouraging, because like as someone who's like super unsure of what they're gonna end up doing, like real estate has crossed my mind from time to time, and I'm like, I don't know, because I hate sales. Working in a sales job, I'm like, real estate just like sales personified, just like selling, but like really, really high stakes sales.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't know if I want to. That's probably make me more nervous, but just knowing that it's open to everyone who like maybe has what it takes is kind of cool. John might hate that because, you know, he doesn't want anybody to be able to get it. He thinks like there should be a higher barrier of entry, which is interesting. I did find that very interesting. I thought about it for a second. Like, I think it would not only prevent a lot of people from like getting into real estate and just like then like falling out of it in a month and having no money. Like it's high risk, and people don't realize that. So it might save a lot of people from themselves, but I think it might also just like elevate the real estate industry as a whole.
That's
like,
true.
Making it better. 100%. And I think a lot of times all these real estate and like teams and real estate agents who are like, let's say the ones we're talking about, who are not doing it the right way. Like just like they keep sending mail flyers that are like squished between like my goddamn fast food coupons. I'm like, I don't want this right now. Just throw it out. That's probably why. It's just they probably don't belong there.
At the same time, like I think before this, I've always, not always, but I've also considered real estate and just like maybe exploring that and seeing what that means. And it's always seemed like a very intimidating thing, because I'm like, there's such a high barrier of entry, and it seems like so difficult, and there's all these little pieces. But at the same time, like getting certified and being eligible to kind of enter that space isn't actually that difficult. Which could, like, if it does become harder to get in, then a lot of people who are like unsure and are maybe like too scared to even try it, that scares them away even more. But now knowing that it is just a course, and then it's up to you, and how you set yourself up, like I think that makes it a more encouraging prospect even for myself, who really enjoys like engaging with people, and like I'm very social, I'm very presentative, and I could almost see like I could see the fun in potentially selling a house, because I feel like selling houses is not selling freaking, I don't know, like anything else, like selling shoes or you know, like selling software.
You're selling something people actually want.
Yeah.
Well, like, I mean, people maybe want shoes and maybe want software, and if shoes and software are your thing, then great. But like, I think a lot of people find houses really cool, and I miss HGTV so much. So
you'd be living it. You'd be living it as a real estate agent.
I would literally like, I mean, kind of less glamorous, but I do have interests that lie there, and I'm like, maybe that sales job that looked really scary and really intimidating, at least to get started, isn't really, and then it's just my own personal, like how much I'm willing to risk to try and get into that and to try to break into it.
Totally.
So there's two sides to that coin for sure.
I think everyone's perception of real estate having a real high like barriers to entry, I think they're actually talking about the barriers of success. Like it's very easy to get in, but it's very hard to like make the money, because like real estate to me sounds very cool as long as I'm actually making some money, like selling houses and just like living comfortably. But like, it's just the struggle for a little bit, which I think just might be part of the game, just struggle from the beginning. But like John said, like, and Ngoni attested to, because he lived it, like just joining a good team and like a good fit, and having a good like a good mentor like John was to Ngoni, you know, just have someone show him the ropes and support him and stuff. I think that's encouraging to me. I'm like, okay, so it doesn't have to be so hard. Like, I might not make that many deals in the beginning, but like if I surround myself with the right team and I don't do it alone, like it's not gonna be awful. Like I'll still have a good cushion, because then you're just not relying on yourself too, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So Alex, would you actually be a real estate agent, you think? Could you do it?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think I could do it.
Let's start our own team and run John and Ngoni out of business. Maybe.
I have an idea. Real estate, but specialize in tiny homes.
Is there a market for
There
that?
you go.
Are there even
There
enough tiny
will
homes to
be.
sell? Oh, that's
I'm
true.
betting that there will be. And by betting, I mean hoping.
I wonder if
For
we
sure.
should have asked. We can cut this out, but we could have maybe asked John about tiny homes. He's like, is that a thing? Does that happen?
I
That's
feel
true.
like he would roast them, and that's just me
Well,
making
shut
a blatant
Yeah.
assumption. But I
He's also a bigger guy. He's like he's a traditional
Yeah.
Italian. He's like, fuck out of here. I want to be tiny
Yeah.
homes.
When I was asking the whole like soft boy, like, do you get nervous? He was like, I'm ready to eat you for lunch, bro.
Oh yeah.
You think I get
Dude,
nervous?
You guys should see this guy on the rugby field. It's another. He's different.
Oh,
He
God.
switches. He switches. He
Amazing.
turns. He when he goes into contact, he leads head first. He's like, I'll get you with this,
Jesus.
and then the rest will be
Just
like he's
the
nuts.
dome.
He cleans it
The-
off. He cleans it off.
Dude,
to
he
really
has
get
a
ya.
hard head. He's like he knows it. He knows he has a hard. He's like, hits you and then he grabs you up. Like he's tough. He's
Holy.
tough.
No, he's a tough cookie
Yeah.
for sure.
For sure.
All right.
For sure. And he was imagine him being your coach in high school.
I'm
Good
gonna
time.
fill up my water.
times.
2 seconds,
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll
Yeah.
come back, and that'll be our like reset to kind of do an intro combo.
Sounds good.
Sounds good. It felt bad. It felt bad. It felt good getting back into it.
Mm-hmm,
Like we haven't
mhm.
recorded, we haven't done an episode in a little minute, so it felt nice.
It's true. It's true. I always it's so hard because as someone who hates like interrupting people and like not wanting
I
to
know.
impose, I'm
That's-
like, I never know
that's
when
hard.
I can like insert myself into the conversation.
Me
I'm
too,
just like,
me
my
too.
heart's just beating. I'm like, I gotta ask this question. I haven't said anything
Yeah,
in
yeah.
20 minutes.
And it's easier when you have like guests who are like not as like forward. Like yeah, just like I'll answer your questions, but like John and Ngoni was like their conversation was so like even they started talking, so like there'd be so much times where like and then
Yeah,
everyone started talking, they're like
know.
I'm sorry.
Exactly.
It's okay. When I tell you like I get so meticulous with like my editing. If when I go back and edit this, I'm gonna literally cut out those little parts.
Yeah.
And like completely make it seem like it was a smooth conversation. That's the point.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Hee
Oh, you back?
Welcome back. I leave and I welcome you guys back. Oh, frick.
Well, welcome back to my world.
Welcome
How
back
are
to
you guys
my podcast.
Oh, we're back, people. We're back. We're gone for a little
Episode
bit.
5. Well, technically we won't
Episode-
be because episode 4 is coming out soon. So we will be.
True.
Will have been.
Yeah, we were here all along. Don't worry about it. Yeah, exactly.
We didn't go anywhere.
Thanks for coming back for another episode, everyone.
Yeah.
Appreciate the support. Always come back for us. We appreciate it. We can't see you. We don't know who you are, but we love you.
Yeah. Shout out to those people. Apparently, there are lots of people listening to us in. Oh no, where was it? It's somewhere in the States. Like 30% of
Ooh.
our audience. So shout out to you guys over there.
Interesting.
Really?
Don't know how you found us, but
Hey, we're not mad.
yeah.
We're not mad.
Yeah.
The goal this year was to grow the following and expand, and I guess it's going. I guess we're
Yeah.
in the States. It's a good place to start.
Worldwide.
Worldwide, baby. This is a worldwide podcast. Awesome. Do we have a really
wanted to-
fun? Oh. Okay, go ahead.
No, you can say your thing. Go for it.
No, I was rushing into it because I'm getting nervous. I don't know why. You just go first.
Don't worry. Hey, listen. I'm your rock. I'm cool, calm, collected.
Always.
That was a little bit frozen for
Oh.
me. I'm going to wait for him to come back. Oh, no. Oh,
Am I back?
yeah. I'll just let you dance a little bit longer.
I figured.
What are your guys' plans? What are you guys' like home buying goals or like anywhere there? Is it you want one, don't want one, apartment, house? What's your guys' vibe right now?
I dream. I dream about houses. I love houses. I honestly don't know when or if I'll be able to actually own a house, but in the meantime, I'll still walk through my neighborhood and be like, "Ooh, that trim? No way." And also the classic in my kitchen being like, you know what? I feel like we could just like knock down this wall, like make a little breakfast nook there, open concept vibe. Like I love that stuff so much. And I don't know if I'll ever be able to actually do that, but I definitely dream about it.
Yeah, I think I'm on the same page. Like I definitely want that eventually. I do picture myself with like house, many dogs, maybe some kids, just eventually. But like I think for now I'm definitely like first step, like let me just like, 'cause I still live at home. So I'm like maybe like apartment first and then like just test that out a little bit and then
Totally.
something maybe kind of smooth up slowly. But yeah, I'm just like you. I'm like I do like houses and like I do like I have some friends in real estate, which we'll be speaking to in a minute, who like will always be posting, the houses that they're selling and stuff. I'm like, oh, it's so nice. Like, how much? Oh, 1.3 million. All right, maybe another day. Like it seems so far away. And I think for a lot of people our age, it seems so far away. But I think maybe it's attainable and achievable. I just we don't really know what it takes to really get into like I haven't done my research. Like, what does it take to get a mortgage? What does it take to get a house? So maybe it's more achievable and attainable than I think. But yeah,
true.
it seems distant at the moment.
I just like I have two versions, and like one is like I really like small spaces. Like I would just enjoy living in a little space, whether it be like a nice little apartment or maybe like a tiny house, which I'm like, tiny homes. Okay, tiny homes I'm absolutely obsessed with. We'll get into it.
Can't wait.
It's like, there's something about the tiny, it's cozy, it just like works, it's efficient. And then the other side of me is like, what if I had a regulation basketball court in my house? And that's extreme. Obviously,
Dude.
I can't play basketball for my life, so I would never want a basketball court. It would just be a waste of my talents.
You can get a tennis court.
Ooh.
Right? But in reality, it's like I do want to fit a ping pong table in my house because I have like I love playing ping pong and I have a ping pong table in my house right now, and I'm like, how can I ever part with you? And obviously, ping pong tables inside are not compatible with like small apartments or tiny houses. And so there's this, it's like, do I want a tiny house that like is not that expensive and is cozy and efficient? Or do I want a ping pong table? And
Okay, like
it shouldn't be that big of a deal, but it is.
But honestly, you might not have to choose. Shout out Tiny House Nation, Zach. He you can watch it on Netflix. Like he will like build this tiny house, and it's like the same kind of vibe as like Extreme Home Makeover, where they're like they show the house at the end and they're like, we attached this like regulation size soccer net to the side of your home so that once you park
They
it,
did
we
do
can
that.
extend
I've watched that show too.
It's just about the solutions, You don't sell yourself short.
Listen, Mo, if you're not convinced yet about tiny homes and like how cool and satisfying they are, you just haven't watched enough videos
Maybe
or shows. Like watching that's probably part of it. It's just like so satisfying to see like people's designs and like how they fit everything differently. It's like a weird game. It's like a weird game, but it's so satisfying to be like, yeah, we can pull out like 10 feet of kitchen counter from under, I don't know where. Like they just, where there's a will, there's a way. And people who design tiny houses are like the epitome of that. It's insane.
I mean,
it's so
I hope you're right. Cause like, I'm just like I was just built wide, just a wide guy, broad shoulders, big head, I just like, I don't fit very good into like small spaces. So like, I would hate to feel like always like I'm just like trying to squeeze through here and I'm like, oh, I'm just like get this from there. Like I just want to be comfy. That's why like I need a big house so I can feel like I'm comfortable. So if a tiny house can accommodate for me, sure. Cause like I live in a regular sized house right now. The amount of times I'll walk through doorways and bump shoulders at the door frame is ridiculous. Like there's more than enough space, but I still find myself just bumping into shit. So I feel like giving me less room, I think I'll just like have a lot more like bangs and bruises. But my biggest thing that I really want in a house is a home theater. That's like my thing. I really want a home theater because it's just like, what better way to end the day?
Yeah.
Or like a weekend with like inviting people over. hey guys,
yeah.
movies on my place this time. And like no bullshit snacks, like actual good food while watching a movie on a good screen in a comfortable chair. Ooh, baby.
Okay, but like this is the thing, because I've also been thinking about this.
Yeah.
And in a tiny house context, right? I was like, what if you create a loft, right, over like a side of it, and then it's
Okay.
like all like couch cushion. So the entire floor is just like soft. So you get up there and just like anywhere you sit, your feet aren't dangling off the couch. You're not slouching in the couch. Like you're just like the whole room is basically a couch.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Like floor, walls, and then there's just like the TV screen. So anywhere you need to sit, you got pillows, however you need them. You got couch all over. I was like, it's gonna
That
it's
does
gonna be
sound
the
cool.
comfiest room in the world.
That's
Do
amazing.
you know what that reminds me of?
Sounds difficult though. Yeah.
Yeah. It does sound kind of difficult, but it sounds really nice. But that reminds me of, I might be butchering the term, but I've been seeing them recently a little bit, like just on like TikTok and shit. But I think they're called like living room pits, where like the couch and stuff is like
Yeah.
underground, and like
Yeah.
you go from like ground level to like actually, can you feel like you're just like this enclosed space?
Yeah.
And that looks like such a fucking vibe.
That looks,
That's
they're the
such
best.
a vibe.
I agree. They look
It's
the
like-
best thing ever.
They look amazing. I'm like, I need that. Like a couch. Like,
Yes.
who wants to buy a couch, put it on top of the fucking ground? Like, no, I want it in.
I want it
I want
in
it
the ground.
in. I want it a part of it, so I can just like literally just like melt into my house. You know?
For sure. I can feel
Sounds
that.
amazing.
Yeah. I do have expensive taste.
Mm.
Unfortunately. Unfortunately.
Don't we all? Don't we all?
I guess. Aside from houses, though, like what your house look like, what you want your house to look like. Do you guys see yourself just like, hey, I'm gonna live in this one city for my whole life, or you guys be like just like country to country, city to city, just like keep moving around, exploring the world, settling down for a few years here, a few years there? What do you guys think your life's gonna be like?
I feel like for me, the general trajectory of it is probably like I can see myself moving west for like a solid chunk of my life, and then maybe coming back to Edmonton because I love Edmonton, and probably not for any really good reasons, but I just really like it here. But I also adore like Vancouver Island, or even just Vancouver in general. Like I just feel this pull to go west. So
Don't we all?
Relax, Moana.
Don't we all?
Relax.
Don't we all? Just like, I just
No,
want to
for
go
real.
west. I
Yep.
just want to, yeah.
Yep.
Where like nature is lush and green,
Yes.
and the people are friendly, and all these things. You're just like, it's the promised land.
Yes,
Mhm.
literally.
Vancouver Island. You're like,
Yep. That's the
I'm just waiting, because
goal.
obviously like Vancouver Island has like an older demographic, right? But I'm just waiting for like all of us to just like say enough is enough and just
Yes.
like, just take
I
over.
know.
Just
Yes.
take over.
Yeah, I'm down for
Literally
that.
good. That's what I say. Like I'm like everyone's just scared to move there because they're like, oh, like then I'll have to make all new friends, and like I don't know anyone there. So if we
Mhm.
all just move, it's perfect. We're all there. We all know each other. We don't have to be
Yeah.
scared,
God, we're so antisocial. It's like funny. We're like, make new friends. Yeah, no way.
True.
Now we're like trying to lead a revolution out west. We're like, let's go, vamonos, everybody, let's do it. I mean, I also really like the island, and I went to Victoria last year, and it was lovely. I had never been like out west before,
Mhm.
so it was very surprisingly nice. I didn't know what to expect, but I very much want to live in Europe.
Oh,
My
yes.
parents, like, I
Mine.
have
That's
my
mine.
European like citizenship, so as long as I get out of Canada, I just like show my ID and I'm like, boom, I'm in, whatever.
Wow. Lucky.
What's your weirdest flex? I have ID. No, but I do want to live in like France, for example, and I really romanticize
Yes.
that, and I want to do that before I'm done university, like on an exchange or something. But even then, the beauty about my future is I have absolutely no job prospects right now. I literally
Mood.
I have no idea what I'm gonna do, and I haven't even
Okay.
applied for anything yet. Like, it's so wide open. It's like too wide open,
Mm.
you know?
Well, Good thing you're not graduating in like 3 months.
Yeah, that's true. But it's just like I'm at the point where I can literally be like, I literally have so little direction that if I was brave enough to screw off to like Central Australia, I could do it. I could probably do it. So I do have, I grew up kind of living in a few areas around the world, and like I'm from Ottawa, and then I lived in Abu Dhabi for a bit, and now I'm in Edmonton, and like I've really liked moving. I know moving is kind of scary, but I really enjoy it, and so I very, very much want to continue kind of moving around the world and experiencing completely different places, not just in a vacation way, but in like a lifestyle way, because I feel like they're so rich in different ways.
It's true.
Yeah,
that's where I'm at.
For sure.
What about you, Mom?
It's funny. I asked this question not knowing my own answer. Yeah, I'm kind of similar to you, Alex. Like I've also, like I was born in the Middle East, and then I lived in Ontario for like a few years, and then I came to Edmonton for a few years. So like also kind of been around, but yeah, like I for some reason I just feel a pull to Europe. Like I just feel like I just want to maybe just live in Europe, since like I probably will survive anywhere other than like England, London, UK, and I'll probably go live there. I've also like thought about like New Zealand and like UK and Australia. It's just like sounds just like really nice. It's really nice out there. Like people just seem happy. I know like it's kind of hectic. Like weather's wild, crazy fucking animals and shit. Yeah, spiders.
Dear God, the spiders.
Are you guys afraid of spiders? Sorry, real quick.
100%.
I mean, no, but if it's the size of my, if it's the size of my fucking chest, like no, like I'm not doing that. So it just depends.
Got it.
But yeah, I think I do want to just like, also just like starting somewhere new where there isn't the blueprint sounds really exciting to me. Just like, cause like living in Canada or like in the West, like you kind of know how it's supposed to end up going, you know, more or less.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that's
over
true.
there, I'm like, I kind of want to like do something different, you know, just be excited to like start pretty much a new life instead of just like this being like a continuation of my past life. I kind of want to get a new start, just like something exciting.
That's
And
cool.
same thing you said, just like just live in that culture. Like I hate the vacation shit. I hate feeling like a tourist. It's the worst feeling for me. Like I just want to actually be like actually just engulfed in that culture, just live in it and just experience it fully. That sounds really, really like something that I think I need to do at one point in my life.
Yeah.
And
so
it has to take an element of like letting go for us, because I think going through university and everything, like you hang on to this fact that you are building yourself up in a certain way to achieve a certain thing. And then like even thinking about like moving to the UK, for example, or like moving to France, it's like, how do you even go about it? Where do you start? Like your university, your education, your understanding of how things function is just different. And knowing how difficult it is to get jobs like kind of now, or like how difficult it feels because you have like so many people applying for the same thing. Sometimes I'm like, how do I even go about even trying in a different place that I like don't know yet? But you know what? Don't worry about that one too much.
It's chill though.
I brought it up. I regret it. I don't want to think about it. But like even in Victoria too, like moving halfway across the country, like Ontario is very different from Alberta, which is very different from BC. There is still some kind of some kind of connection because it is still Canada, but I don't know. It's just very different environments, and you just have to be okay with like building yourself up in this environment and then just figuring it out.
Just restarting. Yeah.
Definitely.
At the end of the day, we're all gonna figure it out. Like there's no other really option. There's no solution. Like everyone's gonna figure out the next step until you get to where you're supposed to get to. Whether like maybe you spend a bit of time in the wrong place, so be it, you know. But you're gonna get to where you're supposed to get to. Like, settle down where you're supposed to settle down. And yeah. I'm pumped though. What I'm really excited for is like in like 20 years looking back and be like, holy shit, this person lives in that continent. And that person that I went to class with lives in that country. Like I can't wait to see everyone. I can't wait to see everyone just like spread and be like, holy shit, how did you end up in Japan? Like tell me the story. Like how did you go from U of A to Japan? Like what happened? That I'm really pumped. So I'm excited for the future and see where everyone ends up.
So
And on that
inspirational.
note, controversy corner. Fuck January. What the fuck is this month even about? I hate this shit. I hate it. January sucks. I'm sorry, everyone has birthdays right now, but like, you get the fucking holiday blues. Winter stinks.
Yep.
What else? Your credit card statement looks like ass right now because of the holidays. Keep piling it on. What's going on? The new semester is starting. Like, there's like, anything fun looks a little bit too far in the future. So you're like, I gotta just live now for now, and like you can't really look forward to much.
It's so long of a month too.
It sucks. It sucks. I'm sorry. By the way, Alex's birthday is in January, and I apologize. But,
literally a week from recording this, bro. Like, I'm trying to get amped up right now.
Hey, buddy, we're gonna do something fun. We're gonna have fun. We're gonna have a good. Also, what are your plans? What are you doing? Zoom party? Are we invited?
I mean, listen, this is the thing.
Mm-hmm.
I was genuinely thinking about like calling some friends and be like, hey, let's hang out on Zoom. Let's drink, whatever. And then I got too scared. So I didn't. So I'm not.
Okay.
Alex.
I feel that. I'm the same. I'm like, yeah, nothing for my birthday this year. I don't want everyone just like, don't bother. It's all good. I feel you.
True. I do feel that as well.
You know what? Honestly, it's just 21. Like, it's not even an important year.
Oh, buddy.
21.
No. Oh, that's tough, buddy. That's tough.
It's not even that big. Don't worry about it.
No. You're only like legally just like allowed to do whatever you want now in any country, more or less, which is nice, but it's okay.
Whatever. I'll be legal next year too.
Yeah, exactly.
You just have 2 birthdays next year.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, people will love that. We're not done. We're doing tomorrow too.
People are like, birthday week, hell yeah. Let's do the fucking whole week. Shut the fuck up. Let's get back on track. January. Give me your 2 cents, please.
Okay, well, out of all the months, like that's my thing. Is like, if we're trying to compare it, you know, what does it have? It doesn't have a holiday. It's really cold. It's like there's so much pressure because it's like, oh, it's the start of a new year, and now I have like 11 more months to fuck up continuously. So I just don't. It's just, as someone who really needs and thrives with things to look forward to, like you said, Mo, everything that you could possibly look forward to is very far away. Counterpoint, though, is that I feel like it gets better if you learn how to embrace it, you know, like if you ski or skate, like go skating outside. Like, I think that there are ways that you can improve it for yourself and improve the experience. But even that comes with a lot of effort. So what do you
I was literally I was thinking before this, we started recording, like, I wonder how long it's gonna take for Jenaya to bring up skiing.
I'm sorry.
No, I love it.
I love it.
Oh, I love that you're excited. I was like, I know it's gonna happen at some point.
Yeah. So
Alex, give us a different perspective, because I know it's your birthday.
Listen,
it sounds like you like January, so yeah.
I understand why. I also think you guys put a lot of pressure on yourselves. Like the whole thing where Janaya's like, now there's so much pressure because it's a new year. And I'm like, I think I'm the opposite. Like I find like peace in that it's a new year and that it's kind of a blank slate.
Yeah.
So I like that. I feel like in a way it's one of the lighter months just because I don't have that much planned and I don't have that much to worry about. Like it's before school has started. You know what I mean? I'm not like dying from school. I don't have baggage from what just happened because I dealt with that before Christmas. And like for me, I always take kind of this like Christmas to New Year's. For me, it's never like one day. For me, it's this whole like holiday season of me just like feeling festive and feeling good again. And then once you come into this new year, it's kind of nice. It's quiet. Especially that first week before you get back to work. There's not really that much going on because everything, even holiday stuff can get stressful, but even that's out of the way. So
yeah,
it definitely gets cold. It sucks. I agree. My birthday's in it. I know. I never do anything cool because it's cold. But that's how I see January. And then it like things get progressively fuller as the year goes on, but I find it quite a light month for me.
You know what?
That's fair.
All your points are really good, and I have to agree with every single one of them. So I
Yeah.
guess
It's about perspective.
two sides to every coin.
It's about perspective, Mo.
Two sides, yeah, a little shift perspective. That's all. That's all I can say. Like,
You got to pivot.
Fucking hate
Today's
that
episode
word.
of Business Buzzwords.
Oh yeah. Since we are, this January has been an unprecedented January. Nothing like it before. So
That's
we
another
sure do
good
have
word.
to. We sure do have to.
Unprecedented.
True. Can't wait for precedented times.
Yeah. Everyone,
I'm taking that
gathered-
soundbite. I'm taking that soundbite. We're starting it off like, can't wait for unprecedented times, and the jingle, and then we're gonna go into the episode.
Everybody, today we gather in extremely precedented times. Can you imagine? Never.
That
Never
is
in my life.
such a funny thing. Holy shit! Someone write this shit down.
That's like you know how everybody's talking about feeling discombobulated. You ever just feel like perfectly combobulated? Like you're standing there and you're like,
I've never been
wow.
combobulated.
You're like, wow, I am surprisingly combobulated right now.
Oh my god.
Oh jeez. Woo, that was funny. I want to just live in precedented times.
I think we're good here. I can stop it, right?
Yeah. Oh, except if you want, like, I say this every time, if we want like a segment being like, in this episode, we're talking with John and Ngoni.
Sure.
If you want.
Today we got John and Ngoni from Müve Team real estate group. They're John's a good friend of mine. Ngoni's one of his good buddies who also works with him. They can tell us a little bit about the real estate industry, what they're doing right now, their team, and everything marketing that they do as a real estate team. And yeah, tune in. We got a fun game at the end. It's going to get pretty intense. So you got to stay all the way to the end for that. And yeah, sit tight, buckle in, and enjoy the ride.
You're so nervous all the time when you do those.
I'm so nervous.
You're a little cutie when you start doing those.
I hate it. Alex, do you want to do a take?
Sure. Let me
give it a shot.
Let me just recombobulate myself real quick before I get started.
See, I just go off the top. I just start talking. Whatever happens, happens. Everything is completely improvised in my life through and through.
Okay. So today we're going to be joined by John and Ngoni from the Müve Team, which is a real estate group here in Edmonton. John is a seasoned veteran in the industry, and Ngoni is the new kid on the block. We have a lot of fun conversations about just the industry in general, how marketing works within the industry, how COVID is maybe going to change that, if at all, for the good, for the bad. And then we're going to finish off with a fun little game. We know they're competitive guys, and we know they're going to have fun with it. Enjoy the episode, guys.
Oh, you're so much fucking better at
What?
it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. How do you do it?
Except I said enjoy the episode, guys, and I should just say enjoy the episode.
I struggle with that too.
That's okay. I'll re-record that part.
No, I can cut it so easily. Don't worry. I can fade it out, add the jingle
Okay.
in early, cut out guys.
You honestly don't even need to enjoy the episode. Like you can just, maybe you do. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
I don't care if you
kind of
enjoy
fun.
it. Just listen.
Just listen.
Who cares if you enjoy it? All right. That's done. We did it.